John Frusciante is pretty well known for using the DS2 for a lot of his distortion and solo tones. And he uses it in quite an interesting way where he uses settings on the DS2 that at first might look pretty unbearable, but because of his amp setup, it actually works really well. So in this video, I'm going to take you through that setup, how and why it works, and if it's sound that you like, you'll be able to use it with your own setup. He has the DS2 set to mode 2, which gives a really pronounced mid boost. And on a lot of settings, I think that sound can be a little nasal and a bit choked sounding, but because he cranks the distortion and tone controls, it really helps open up the high end to give a bit more of a pleasant, kind of bright cutting distortion, but still with the mid focus of mode 2. Has the level control set all the way up as well, and this setting in particular is only really going to work if you have your amp set with a bit of overdrive, because what you're really doing when you increase that level control is you're increasing the amount of overdrive on the amp because you're increasing the amount of input that's being sent to the amp, and that overdrive from the amp now is cascading together with the distortion sound of the pedal, which sounds pretty cool. If you use the pedal with these settings into an amp set clean with a lot of headroom, like a Fender Twin or something, you're going to get a big jump in volume, like too much really. And you're not going to get that sound of cascading gain stages either. It's only going to be the distortion sound from the pedal. I'm using a Fender Deluxe Reverb with an attenuator here, but if you do always like to have access to a big, loud, clean sound, then the other option is to put an overdrive pedal after the DS2. If you do it that way, just make sure the overdrive pedal is one that's a kind of natural amp-like overdrive sound. Something like the Boss DS-3, the Full Tone OCD, any of the Catlin Bread Foundation series, they should all work pretty well. More mid-focused overdrive pedals like the Ibanez Tube Screamer, the Boss SD-1, things like that, probably aren't going to work as well, I think. But let me know what you guys are using in the comments. I'd be interested to know what amps and pedals you're using to get the best overdrive sound with this. The other effect of having the level control set all the way up is that because all the gain stages are totally maxed out and you're getting lots and lots of compression, you can use the pedal for some creative use of feedback. So it's quite nice to announce your solo with a shriek of feedback, for instance, or let the last note of your solo morph into this infinite howl of sustain. I hope that's given you a bit of insight into one of the many ways of using the good old DS2. If you found this video useful, think about liking the video, maybe subscribing to the channel if you want to see more videos like this exploring guitar sounds.